I made some stupid mistakes in 2023, and I'm going to share my top fails and biggest wins so you can learn from my lessons and soar in 2024. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to share first my top fails and the lessons that I learned. I'm going to highlight my wins and why they matter for you. I've also compiled some downloadable resources for you. I'm going to share with you what those are and how you can get them. And at the end, I've got a special chat GPT prompt that you're going to have to comment below so I can send it to you. So let's get into this. First up is my top fails. So here's a thought for you. We don't learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experiences. That's something I came across recently, and it's really sunk deep for me. Sort of a mind shift right there. It's not just experiences alone, but reflecting on them. So that's what this yearly review is about. And I just did a complete review of my year. I spent a few days on this, going into depth into my calendar, notes, journal, emails, and everything from the year so I could paint a complete picture of what worked in my year, what didn't, and how I can learn moving forward. And I want to share that with you because I think it's a powerful practice. This isn't something I did when I spent 22 years addicted to alcohol, by the way. No, I was just flying by the seat of my pants. All right, so number one top fail is I did not quit smoking. Full transparency, complete honesty with you right there. I still smoke tobacco. I roll American Spirit tobacco. I started smoking when I was 11, and it's a habit that I haven't let go of in all of my years. I'm 43 now. It's crazy. I know it's insane. It's something that I've been wanting to do almost every day this whole time, but I haven't been able to do it yet. So in 2023, I see this as a fail. I didn't have the self-discipline to follow through with what I know is best for me. So addiction is insidious like that, right? But at least it's not like the corporate manufactured Marlboros, Camels, and major brands like that that have all the synthesized poisons in them. At least I'm rolling my own natural organic tobacco. So anyway, that's fail number one. I got sober. That's a win, which I'll get to later. But still, I have other vices and addictions that I'm looking to let go of in 2024. And we're going to get more into that. Number two fail is I didn't exercise enough. My actions weren't aligned with my ambitions to lose some weight that I've gained and to get back into a shape that makes me feel good. I was lazy, and that's it. I don't have any other reasons or excuses, pure laziness. So moving on to number three, my top three fail is I did not make enough money this year. Income, my financial situation was not good. Big fail. So here's a little bit of context for that. At the beginning of 2023, I was still drunk. Back in January, I was drinking every day. And things were not going too well for me at the time because I was looking for work every day, cold emailing hundreds of potential clients to work with. I had a commercial photography business at the time. And so I was really depressed because I was getting no responses from these cold outreach efforts. And we didn't have any money at the time. And so I was drinking to sort of compensate for that. But finally, we sold the house that we were living in at the time. And we got a lot of money from that, which we were able to pay off some debt, put some in savings. And so one of the reasons why I'm not too worried about this as a fail, though, even though it's a big one, is because fortunately we were able to sell the house and survive on that up through the present moment. So we weren't destitute because of it, and it wasn't for a lack of trying. I did try to make money. I wasn't successful in that. and I was drinking. So kind of a rough beginning of 2023 for me. Moving on to number 4, top fail is diet was not great. I was lazy with my nutritional desires to be better with the food that I'm eating. Big fail for me. That's pure laziness, really. I mean, I know what's good for me: green juices, salads, you know, less fried food and junk food, snacks, and all that. I got a little bit carried away. Um, you know, that's another addiction is food, eating too much and not eating great stuff. And I mean, there's not a lot of blame on that for you or me because the world that we were born into, modern society, it's so marketed and pushed on. It's everywhere. It's cosmopolitan. It's too easy to grab for something less than excellent rather than cultivate that self-discipline to eat the healthy food that might not give us that immediate satisfaction on the taste buds. So the diet was not great. I was lazy, addicted to less than excellent food, and too much focus on work instead of health. That's a question I have in my notes because when I'm focused on my projects like creating content behind the scenes for this YouTube channel or my new ghostwriting career that I started building, more on that later, I'm so focused on being productive with the limited time that I have because of the new kid. Takes a lot of time being a father and a parent. That, if I get hungry during my work hours, I just go for some crackers and cheese, something quick, something good. Anyway, not a lot of blame there, but that's a fact. My diet wasn't great, didn't make a lot of money, I didn't exercise enough, and I'm still smoking tobacco. Number 5, my top 5 fail from 2023 is my mental health / spirituality. Could have been better. Didn't have a lot of fails, but these are my top 5 out of the other ones. Honestly, I found myself getting pretty annoyed at some bullshit in life, and I'm not proud of that. That's the way it went. So, sparing you all the details, I'm really sensitive to sound. There's a scientific word for that. I can't remember what it is. Maybe you can put it in the comments if you look it up. But the urban noise, like the cars on the road outside and the leaf blowers this autumn, they're going outside right now. It's insane. I'm really sensitive to these combustion engine sounds, and being so close to them kind of drives me crazy, to be frank with you. Poverty was annoying to me. Just being broke is just, it's a big weight on my shoulders. And I'm really looking forward to making that shift in 2024. So the sound was getting to me, the poverty was getting to me. Whenever I drive our truck out running errands or going places around town, bad drivers annoy me. People who tailgate, that's a huge pet peeve of mine. People who are speeding, angry, cutting off, just being anything but generous with their sharing the road. It's like, drivers are just crazy these days. So mental health, spirituality, all this dissonance and stress weighing on me, I'd let it get to me. I let it get under my skin. And I didn't have any practice or habits to balance that. I know what to do, but I wasn't doing them. Like deep breathing is a big one. Just taking a minute throughout the day to just pause and just open up the lungs and breathe. I mean, I used to do that, but I've fallen out of practice. No excuse. That's a big fail for me in 2023. I'm looking forward to making a change in that moving into 2024. So those are my top 5 fails. And I've got an assignment that I did and I want to share with you in case you want to really turn your annual review into a high performance practice. It's a little assignment, and all of this is going to be linked in the description. Go into the show notes on my website, davidwhipple.com. The assignment is simply to write down the things that you did that you're not happy about, or decisions that you made that were fucked up. Just write them down. Kind of your your losses, your fails, or if you're into some euphemistic filler for that, insert it there. So there we go. I hope that you can resonate and relate with those weaknesses and fails of mine and see where they're showing up in your life. Write them down. So let's move on to the next section, which is my biggest wins from 2023. I want to share them with you because they're kind of a big deal. It shows progress in my life, and it's important to honor the wins in your life and remind yourself of where you're making progress and moving forward in your life with the things that matter. So number one for me was I started the podcast from earlier this year. It was called The Sober Bros. I started it with my brother, and it was all about documenting our journey from being addicted to alcohol and drinking every day to sobering up and changing our lives. That was a big win. We started that in March. The first 4 or 5 episodes showed us drinking for the videos. You can find it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube here. Links are all in the description. That was a lot of fun, and it worked because the intention of it was an intervention for my brother because his drinking was a lot more out of control than mine. Mine was just a really consistent death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. He was like having 3 bottles of wine a night. That's quite a lot. And so it worked. He got sober, I got sober, and we had fun. We had guest interviews and all that, and kind of built the show up. We were able to help other people. We got comments every day and messages every day from people who were inspired by us sharing our story, and it inspired them to do the same, to make a change for the better in their life. So that was amazing. I learned about marketing because my brother just showed up and talked on the camera with me. But I did all the marketing and production. And so I learned a lot about starting a podcast, how to market it, and how to stay consistent with the schedule, because that's important. You can't just do something publicly online willy-nilly whenever and expect it to gain traction and go anywhere, grow an audience, make money, turn it into a business. And so that was my aim and intention with that podcast, was to be consistent, be excellent, and build it up into a business. And I learned a lot through that process. Long story short, I quit that podcast because I wanted to start something else, which I'm going to get to in a few seconds here. So why would this matter to you as a win, like starting a podcast for me? Well, what is it for you? Is there some passion project that it's been a pipe dream, you've been talking about it, you want to do it, but your ambition is there, but your actions aren't there? Well, just start the thing. There's no excuse to not figure out how to do it online these days. And if you need help with something, you can always ask me about it because I've done this kind of stuff for a long time. So find out what that passion project is for you, that thing that's been on the back burner that you want to bring to the forefront of your life, something that is calling to you from inside that you want to birth outside into the world. Make it happen in 2024. It'll be a lot of fun, and you'll learn a lot about yourself and probably help a lot of people out there in the world. So moving on to number 2, big win for me in 2023 is because of the podcast, I got sober. That was a big deal. If you've ever struggled with addiction in your life, I'm specifically talking about alcohol addiction, you know that it's a really big deal to overcome that addiction so you can become the kind of person that you know you could be inside. You just have to put in the effort and build those habits. So that was a big win. Got sober because of the podcast after 22 years of being addicted to drinking alcohol. It held me back for that whole time, and I lost a lot of money and other things, but I'm clear and committed now. Big difference. So why would that matter to you? Well, I have it in my notes. Why? Because I want to be sure to add value to you. It seems kind of obvious to me, but I shouldn't take that for granted, that overcoming any addiction in your life: alcohol, shopping, pornography, social media, attention, compliments. What other addictions are there for you? Overcoming them is just a big deal because it's going to help free yourself up for something better. And so that's what I did in 2023. Big win. It set me up for success to soar in 2024. And I know it can do that for you too. So moving on to number 3, big win for me was I revived this YouTube channel. See, that's why I quit the podcast, was because I read this book called The Dip by Seth Godin. And in it, he talks about quitting something sooner than later and why that can be a good thing in life. I made a video about it. You can find it in my feed. It changed the way I think about projects and doing things and what I say yes to and what I say no to. So I read that book, did some soul searching. I decided to quit that podcast. That was a tough decision because it was going well and we could monetize it and turn it into a business. I still believe that. But it wasn't as important to me as reviving this YouTube channel and doing my own thing so I can get my unique message out there into the world. So that was a big win for me to make that decision and rebrand this YouTube channel and pivot the direction that it's going, because it was like a travel vlog with my wife starting in 2020 as we were traveling in a tiny trailer around the United States. I was kind of just shooting from the hip with it, but now I've got a clear direction and purpose with this channel. So I made that commitment to do this over the long term. I'm going to put in everything I have, all the resources, time, and energy that I can into this YouTube channel to connect with people like you and make a difference in your life and learn as I go and build a network and a community, and yes, monetize it, build it into a business so it can generate income, so I can provide for my family, so I can have greater health and happiness and energy to serve you. So that's what this YouTube channel is all about. Why would that matter to you? Again, it's sort of like the podcast situation. Is there a creative project, a passion project, something that you want to do to bring forth into the world, some sort of fear or hesitation that you got to get over? Is it camera confidence? Is it consistency? Do you want to show up and make a difference in this world creatively? Well, I hope that my example serves as an inspiration to you to find what that is for yourself in life and to do it. If you need help, if you have questions, hit me up in the comments. Find the links in the description. Hit me up. We can even schedule a call to go over those things, see if I can help you out. Moving on to number 4, big win for me in 2023 was I started practicing the skill of writing so I can become a writer. I emphasize the T because every time I dictate it into my devices, it shows up like a horse rider or something with a D. But no, I started writing. That's something I wanted to do back when I was a kid. It was an old dream of mine, forgotten for years because of addiction. I completely forgot about that I wanted to be a writer. And I remembered that. And I found the inspiration to start doing it. So that was a big win. So I started journaling every day, which I used to look down on. I didn't see the benefit of it, but now I'm a big fan of it. I highly recommend it. I use an app called Day One, and it's beautiful because it syncs between the watch, the phone, and the laptop. And so I can write anywhere every day. It's great to be able to get my thoughts out so I can see what I'm thinking about, how I'm feeling, how that can translate into action and value. And so it also helps me to become a better speaker because the more I can crystallize my thoughts from being vague to knowing, to being precise, then I can turn it into words so I can connect with people better. That's the value of writing every day. Because I do have a vision of myself becoming a public speaker at some point in the next few years or sooner. We'll see how it goes. That's something I've envisioned for myself for a long time. Big vision in my heart. So public speaking, writing is going to help me with that. Um, this matters to you because it's a skill that we can take anywhere. So a lot of people want to be a digital nomad. They want to work remotely. Learning how to be a good ghostwriter, in my case, or a copywriter, or even a social media caption writer. Everybody needs writing. All businesses and brands need words. They need good words that sell products and ideas. And so it's a skill that you can take anywhere and you can make a lot of money. And it's also going to help you to become a better person. So I highly recommend picking up the pen for yourself or typing on the keyboard, as it were, these days. I don't write with a pen anymore. Okay, so moving on to number 5. Big win for me was I invested. I put my money where my mouth is. I invested in a course. I'm not going to say how much it was, but it was a lot of money, thousands of dollars. I invested in this course to learn how to become a professional ghostwriter, specifically writing educational email courses for content creators in the health and fitness industry. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, or perhaps having me write for you or someone you know, definitely hit me up in the comments or through the link in my website. You can fill out a form there. I'd love to talk to you more about that. That's a huge financial investment for me in my education, in my career, because this is a big win. I made a decision earlier, remember, to stop the podcast so I could start this YouTube channel. I also made the decision to stop my commercial photography business to become a ghostwriter professionally. And so I invested in my education to do that and take the steps. It's going to kickstart my new career into 2024. This is going to help transcend from poverty into riches and be able to help other people because I've chosen the niche that I'm going to be writing in, health and fitness as a broad category, personal development, health, fitness, addiction recovery, this kind of self-help, personal growth niche. That's what I'll be writing in. So I'm going to be able to help other people, help other businesses and brands that have a similar mission and values to me and make a lot of money from it. This is amazing. I've never been more stoked on doing something before, although I still love making videos. By the way, these live stream sessions that I've been doing at the end of this year, it's a time management thing. I'd much rather be creating videos, as you might have seen on my channel, but these live streams save me many hours, 20 hours of editing. And with the new kids, sometimes that's just time you don't have. And so time management is why I'm live streaming, but I love making videos. I love writing words, pictures and words. So why would that matter to you though? The bit about, my investment in this course to learn how to advance my career. I mean, is that something you're doing in your life? Are you investing in yourself? Yeah, it's one thing. It's great to invest in the stock market wisely, but it is probably even better to invest in yourself. The education, the ROI from that can be exponentially greater. And that's what I see. I have goals, financial goals for 2024, and I can see exactly how I'm going to do that. What about you? Your career path, your goals. Can you see it laid out over the course of 2024? And do you have monthly and weekly and daily action steps that will actually get you there? I know I do, so I'm set up for success to soar in 2024. I want to make sure you are too. All right, 6th and final big win for me in 2023 was my son Miles was born. He's named after Miles Davis, big musician, fan of good music here. Miles Davis is one of the greatest, inarguably. And so I wanted a name for him that was sort of different, but not too weird, like Sedona weird. And so we came up with Miles, middle name Magnus, last name Whipple, MMW. So he was born in September, and that's a big win. And I got to give props to my wife, Tracy, because it was our first child. And we had heard about the birthing experience, read some books, and had ideas about it, but nothing beats the real thing. I mean, you just don't know what to expect. It's a complete mystery. And it was rough. And so props to Tracy for birthing Miles. And it's a very good thing. The whole situation has made me a better man and will continue to refine me into a greater man over the coming years. A big win. So he's also having the son is going to be great for me to help me to learn to lead by example, to become a leader. It starts at home. Like if you've got a dog, are you going to be a leader to your dog? Your dog needs a leader. Most people don't do that. A good dog needs a good leader. A good boy needs a good man to lead him. So I'm really looking forward to just shedding my flaws and reinforcing my strengths so I can be a better man, a good leader for my boy to grow up to be a good man doing good things in this world. That's my intention. And hopefully in the far range future have grandchildren. Hopefully he'll get married to a good, less crazy woman. All women are crazy. It's just a matter of degree, right? We're all crazy. So hopefully he marries a good, sane woman. They make a lot of money. They have some kids. Then we have a big family. As we get old and stupider and die. No, I'm kidding, but that's basically how it's going to go, you know? So why would that matter to you? If you haven't had kids yet, I highly encourage it. We're in our early 40s. I kind of wish we had started earlier, but we were hesitant through our 20s and 30s. But it's all right. I would just recommend if you haven't had kids, but you've been on the fence about it, make sure you're with a good person, commit, take the plunge, have kids, you'll figure it out. I know there's a lot of fear that surrounds it, but you'll figure it out. We didn't know what to expect or have all the resources, but we are figuring it out, and we're both optimistically, eagerly advancing every day into the mystery of the unknown. And the law of attraction, right? The universe provides. Okay, so your assignment for the wins in your life is to write down your wins, your habits, goals, and anything that you did well. Organize them into life themes to see the matrix of your life. Organize them into life themes to see the matrix of your life. And honor yourself for those things to reinforce the behaviors that you want to repeat. Okay, so I want to share with you just a little bit about why personal growth is essential for life. In my opinion, it's because it fuels continuous learning. You never want to get bored, stagnant. You always want to be like water, moving forward, learning as you go through the rapids of life, the rough and tumble. You get the shit beat out of you, and then you get cleaned up and you move forward. Personal growth is essential in life because it helps build self-awareness, awareness of self, why we do certain things and avoid other things. Self-awareness is an important life skill that not everyone has. I've met a lot of people who have no self-awareness, and it's really not fun to be around. So you don't want to be that guy. Personal fulfillment is a big part of this personal growth path. It's fulfilling. It provides more meaning, and it also drives ambition. Do you have drive to become a high performer in your field? Do you want to rise above mediocrity? I do, and I hope you do. And it sets a good example for other people. When we commit to the path of personal growth, you never know who's watching, who's going to be inspired circuitously by your actions and your behavior. The energy that you put off. We're the sum total of the 5 people we spend most time with. And in social groups, humans always fall to the lowest common denominator. And so if we can rise up ourselves, then we can help hold the line for humanity and raise the bar. Otherwise, things are just going to continue to go to shit. People are going to drive like fucking crazy. They're going to steal. They're going to kill. They're going to rape. They're going to commit all these kinds of crimes. They're going to be verbally abusive to their partners. They're going to hate themselves and they're going to hate the world. You see where that's going? Completely different outcomes. That's why personal growth is essential in life. I want to share that with you. So I'm going up on above 30 minutes here. I don't want to make this too long. I did have some other deeper takeaways and lessons from my deep dive into my annual review, but I'm going to not share all of this. I'm just going to give a quick bullet point overview of, you know what, I'm just going to move on to my extra tips for elite self-improvement. You know, I'll put some more stuff on my website, davidwhipple.com, link in description. It'll take you to the show notes. I'm going to have more of a detailed outline of my takeaways from the yearly review. So when you do your yearly review, and you can do it in January, it's okay to do it at the beginning of next year. So you can figure out how to make sense of the data that you get from brain streaming your past year. Because again, it's not experience that we learn from in life. It's reflecting on the experience and turning our ambitions into actions. Okay. So here's a couple of quick tips for you to become more elite and advanced in your self-improvement journey. But first of all, if you want this special chat GPT prompt that I came across, it's really gonna make your annual review more sophisticated, leave a comment here. I'll send it to you directly. So here's a tip. View changing your mind as a software update that improves upon the old way of thinking. We want a new way of thinking. And so here's a question. What software updates did you have this year? Write them down. Here's another quick tip for you. What activities, people, or projects consistently generated or drained energy from your life? Write them down. And what did you not do because of fear? What were you afraid of? What held you back? And the flip side of that is your goal for next year is to get closer to your fears so they don't control you. You can become in control of them. And as I said earlier, surround yourself with positive people because it matters, the energy of the people that we associate with. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's like that old quote. So that matters for your peer group, but also the people you associate with online. The people you follow, the people who follow you, what kind of energy is being exchanged online. You can curate your feed so what you're exposing yourself to is of a higher caliber. And that impression is going to make a difference in the way you think over time. Final point for elite self-improvement is to seek mentorship or professional coaching. This is something I've done a little bit, and even more so this year, is investing in yourself. Seek out people who are better than you at what you want to do and seek mentorship and coaching from these people. If they've got a course, you might consider joining it. Invest in yourself, and your learning that you do can help others behind you. Because if you start that podcast, if you start that YouTube channel for yourself, that creative project, the investment you make in yourself on leveling up your education skills in a particular area, and you start to put it out there into the world and apply yourself with consistency, you never know who that's going to help. You can inspire other people to level up their lives as well. You can have the Whipple effect out there in the world. All right, that's all I got for you today in this video. I want you to sign up for my educational email course. You can find the link in the description. I write I ghostwrite educational email courses for health and fitness creators who focus on healthy habits and addiction recovery. This is for businesses, brands, creators on YouTube, people who've got podcasts. This is something I'm going to be launching officially in 2024. I'm really stoked about it. I have my first course for myself. It's link in description. It's a crash course. It's a 5-day mini course for men on how to get sober, develop the right mindset and habits for unshakable sobriety going into 2024. I've had a couple people go through it already. I've tested it myself. I think it's an amazing offer. It's for free. It doesn't cost anything. It can only add value to you. And I think it's also entertaining as well. I give some insider tips and some personal stories in there. So anyway, my mini course, you can find the link through the description. I'd love it if you check it out. And if you like it, share it with a friend who's struggling with addictions, who might need it. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more, because I'm going to be hitting 2024 as hard as I can. I'm going to be going back to my style of making videos out on the land. Tracy and I and Miles are going to be hitting the road again in a tiny trailer, living the travel life. So that's going to make for some exciting, unique content as we move into 2024. We've got a total solar eclipse that we're going to in Texas in April. We're probably going to be heading out east into Florida and Nashville, Tennessee, and places like that. So our journey is going to be continuing. I'm going to be documenting it on this channel. Finally, if you're interested in healthy habits and movement practices, check out this playlist here, because I've got more content on that. And on the mental side of things, to upgrade our operating system, mental mastery, check out this playlist right here. Thanks for tuning in.